Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is a detailed look at the Nike Kybryd S2. So of course, I love the Kyrie Hybrid S1. So I don't think this initially was called a Kybryd. I think it was just Kyrie Hybrid S1 if I remember correctly. And then for the S2, they switched it to Kybryd S2, which I think is a little bit cooler. You know, it's like Kyrie and Hybrid put together, right? So this shoe is a combination of the 4, the 5, and the 6. You know, obviously put together. It's a hybrid of all of those. And then the Kyrie Hybrid S1 was a combination of the Kyrie 1 through 3. And there's a whole bunch of really cool details on this shoe, which I really like. I got it on GoDaddy for like 140 bucks. So shout out to all the Soul Squad that told me to get it on Go. I didn't even know it was available. It's out in China and in Asia right now, but I don't know when it's gonna come into the US. There's really no release date for the US, which kind of sucks. And you know, the Kyrie Hybrid S1 was very limited. This wasn't even available in the US either. I believe just one colorway release, and it was that orange, blue, and brown one, which I feel like this one's a little bit better, right? So anyways, let's start off with the traction. So if you look at the traction, it's basically the same as the Kyrie 4, and it's the exact same outsole. And the Kyrie 4 outsole, the traction was really bad at first, but then you needed to break it in. So if you look really closely at the actual rubber, there's a little bit of a texture on it, and you have to wear that off for it to become really good on an indoor court. And then once you do, then it's top tier, you know? So that's basically the exact same. If you put the two shoes together, it creates an eyeball, which is cool. Yay, eyeball, Kyrie. We know you like eyeballs and triangles and stuff. But anyways, I feel like that's pretty cool. You know, you put the two shoes together and you can see that. But basically it's an all black outsole. And then you can see the zigzag line going through the middle of the outsole. And then here in the heel, you can see the heel zoom unit, and it says number 11. So there's the outsole. Moving on to the cushioning, they're using, of course, the heel zoom unit, which is bottom loaded. Really doesn't do anything. It's not super nice, but they're using the exact same midsole as the Kyrie 4. And in my opinion, I feel like this has the best cushioning out of every other shoe in Kyrie's line because it has full-length Cushlon. And there's a good amount of compression. The thing that sucks about Cushlon though is that it bottoms out, and it did bottom out pretty quickly in the Kyrie 4. But you know, it's still better than nothing. Like in the Kyrie 5 and in the Kyrie 6, it was just this really stiff phylon. Didn't really get any compression, didn't really get any nice impact protection. But you know, I would have liked the Kybryd S2 to have a zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, right? So the Kyrie 4 didn't have that. And there's a good and a bad to that. So the Kyrie 4, it has a good amount of flex here in the forefoot, and so does the Kybryd, right? So if you look at that, right? But the Kyrie 6, it's a little bit harder. I mean, it can still flex, but it's a little bit harder, you know? Same thing with the Kyrie 5. I'm putting a lot more force on it, but you know, it's a little bit hard to flex in the forefoot because of that zoom turbo unit. And the zoom turbo has all that articulation, which helps it, you know, bend a little bit more, but it's just not as flexible as the Kyrie 4 and the Kybryd S2. So there are pros and cons to that, but I do wish they would have added the zoom turbo. I think it would have been pretty nice with the Cushlon, right? And if they did, this definitely would have been the best cushioning setup in his entire line, because as you guys know, Kyrie's entire line, no shoe has nice cushioning. It's all bricks. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on to the materials. Here in the toe box area, it's basically a textile material, and it's super thin and very soft. I'm surprised at how thin it is. It feels even a little bit thinner than the Kyrie 4 for some reason. But then like a little bit softer. And then in the toe box area, there is an overlay of synthetic leather. And of course, that's just to add a little bit of durability if you do toe drags. And that's basically the same thing as the Kyrie 4. And that's where they got it. And then moving on to the midfoot strap. This is basically the fly trap strap from the Kyrie 5. It has the flywire cables, same thing as the Kyrie 5. And then when you tighten the laces, it tightens the strap on your midfoot, and it actually works. And you know, the flywire acts as support for lateral containment. And then moving on to the tongue is basically from the Kyrie 5 as well. Like the Kyrie 4 tongue is a little bit different. You have this pull tab with Kyrie's logo. The Kyrie 6 looks pretty similar to the Kybryd S2, but The leather, like the synthetic leather material, goes a little bit wider, and the Kyrie 5 and the KYBRID S2 are exactly the same, which is pretty cool. And then if you look underneath the tongue, it's this beige color, and I really like it because it makes the shoe stand out a little bit, because this colorway is basically all black, right? Basically, you know. And then also here on the flight trap strap, you have this like a very light red color, I guess, on the edge of the strap, which also makes the shoe pop, which I like. Here in the ankle area, it basically takes the entire Kyrie 6 ankle part and puts it on the shoe. So the Kyrie 4 has like this little indent here in the Achilles, which was a little uncomfortable for me, but you know, obviously that's not the same. And then the Kyrie 5 dips down a little bit here near the back, and then you have a little bit more of a heel tab. But the Kyrie 6 is basically a straight cut like edge, the same as the KYBRID S2, and the Kyrie 6 definitely has the most amount of padding in the ankle area comparing it to the Kyrie 4 and the Kyrie 5. I would say the Kyrie 4 actually has a good amount too, but the Kyrie 6 just has a little bit more, and that feels really nice. It makes it feel a little bit bulkier than I would like, but it kind of makes up for it because the material in the toe area is just so thin. And then here in the heel, for the heel counter, this is really dope what they did. So on the right pair, they get this heel counter from the Kyrie 5, right? As you guys can see, but it's a little bit different. So if you look at the material, it's this like external TPU heel counter. It's a very hard plastic. That's obviously not in the Kyrie 5. The Kyrie 5 heel counter there's no plastic, it's just the material. But then the Kyrie 6, if you look on the left pair of the KYBRID S2, is basically the same as the Kyrie 6 heel counter. But then if you look on the right pair, it's the same pattern as the Kyrie 5, but with, I guess, the plastic from the Kyrie 6 heel counter, which is really cool. I really like that touch. And now going over some of the details on this upper and basically throughout this entire shoe, which I think is really cool. Because the Kyrie 1, or I guess the Kyrie Hybrid S1, didn't really take any inspiration from like the Kyrie 1 through 3, any of those colorways, right? But the KYBRID S2, even like I saw some other colorways that are also coming out. It's not only this colorway, and it takes a lot of inspiration from like the Kyrie 4, Kyrie 5, and Kyrie 6, like different colorways of those shoes, which is really cool. So let's start off with the right pair here in the toe box area. This is from the Kyrie 6 Asia. You know, it's basically like a camo print. Obviously the color is a little bit different, but it's the same pattern, and I really like that. And then the left part in the toe box area, this is from the Kyrie 5 Taco. The actual material is a little bit different than the Kyrie 5 Taco, but the pattern is basically the same. And then moving on to the flight trap strap on the left pair, this is from the Kyrie 5 UFO. And then on the right pair, you guys see this like smiley face with a swoosh for the smile. That's from the Kyrie 5 Have a Nike Day. And then for the tongue on the left pair, this is from the Kyrie 4 Halloween. And then on the right pair, this is from the Kyrie 4 Year of the Monkey. And then, yeah, it draws a lot of inspiration. As far as the lining goes, I'm not sure where this is from. I tried to look, but I couldn't really find anything. But on the right pair, you have a lot of eyeballs on the lining of the right pair. And then on the left pair, it's just black. So there's that. And then on the left pair, on the lateral side in the ankle area, you have an eyeball, and this is from the Kyrie 6 Enlightenment. And then the swoosh is like a hollow swoosh. On the medial side on the left pair, I actually have no idea where this is from. I couldn't really find it. I was looking online and I just couldn't. So if you guys know, tell us down in the comment section below. And then on the right pair, on the medial side, this is from the Kyrie 4 Chinese New Year, and you see these flowers over the swoosh, which I think is really cool. And it's a nice touch because it is embroidered onto the upper. And then on the lateral side, I'm not sure where this swoosh is from and this Nike tag. I couldn't find any swoosh that looked like this, but it's like a plastic material and it shines in the light really well. It reminded me of the Kyrie 3 Samurai, but obviously that's the Kyrie 3, it's not for the S2. And the swoosh is a little bit different. So I'm not sure where this swoosh is from, so tell us if you guys know down in the comment section. And then the actual ankle part, this is from the Kyrie 4 All-Star with the tie-dye, you know, with the purple swoosh, you know what I'm saying? So they took all sorts of colorways from the Kyrie 4 to the Kyrie 6 and mashed it into the KYBRID S2, and I love it. It's so dope, and it's such a throwback, you know what I'm saying? And then moving on to the fit, it basically fits exactly like the Kyrie 4, you know? So I went true to size, and it's really snug. I love a snug fit, and Kyrie's always fit me very well. Like my toe is literally right at the edge. There's no dead space. It's snug, but it's not too tight to the point where like my foot falls asleep. And then width-wise, it's pretty narrow. So if you have have a wide foot or you like to have a looser fit, I would suggest probably going up a full size. And that's how snug it is. So, but of course, if you've ever tried the Kyrie 4 or basically any Kyries like the Kyrie 4, 5, and 6, you should know what size you are, right? All right, as far as the weight goes, I'd say it's around average, probably around 12 ounces. Okay, so 12.95, so basically 13 ounces for this. I wonder how it compares to the S1. Okay, 12.8, basically the same weight. And what do you guys think is the lightest? I feel like the Kyrie 4 is the lightest because it doesn't really have a strap, right? So the Kyrie 4 is probably like 12.5, 12.63 ounces for the Kyrie 4. So that's the lightest so far. The Kyrie 5 is 13.23 ounces. So it's a little bit heavier. And then the Kyrie 6, I feel like is gonna be the heaviest. Let's see. 13.76, yeah, so it's the heaviest. So yeah, the KYBRID is pretty damn light, especially like way lighter than the 5 and the 6. It feels, like I said, a minimal here in the toe box area, but then it feels a little bulky in the ankle area because of all the padding, but it feels really comfortable on foot, right? All right, moving on to the aesthetics. This has to be my favorite Kyrie in his entire line, maybe besides the Kyrie 1. I love the Kyrie 1. It's probably one of my favorite shoes. And a shoe that I've always wanted is the Kyrie 1, like the dream colorway. You know, the first ever colorway that came out. That'll be a grail for me, you know? But anyways, yeah, so as far as the aesthetics go, this is probably one of my favorites. I feel like it looks better than the 4, the 5, and the 6. And it's funny because it's basically all 3 of these put together. And I'm glad they didn't use the Kyrie 6 strap. And not only that, but just like the little details from the Kyrie 4 through 6 colorways in the shoe is so dope. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So yeah, I mean, I'm in love with this. I feel like it's way better than the S1. You know, like the S1 is still dope. You know, it has a 2 strap, like the 1 like teeth here, and I guess the 3 upper, but just didn't take any inspiration from any Kyrie 1 through 3 colorways. And also, I just think the S2 looks better. So they killed it in this. And if you guys have a chance to cop a pair, I 100% recommend that you do. Of course, performance-wise, I feel like it's gonna be like the Kyrie 4. But anyways, that's my detailed look at the KYBRID S2. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.